This man's name was Truman. He was trapped in a studio over 50 miles wide and was sneakily filmed for 31 years. The sky, the beach, the workplace, the people on the road, even the rain, are all fake. All of his growth is broadcast live in over 220 countries with 1.7 billion viewers. The more mature Truman became, the more people followed him. One day, a lamp suddenly fell from the sky. Truman was confused. He saw that this lamp was clearly different from the other. Then, on the broadcast news, that an aircraft had trouble flying over Fiji Island. The aircraft components were down. But Truman paid no attention to this news. In the evening he played golf with his best friend. While he wasn't paying attention, his best friend advertised beer on live air. A giant fake moon hung in the sky. Truman feels that the people next to him have been very strange lately. He remembers the day his father fell into the sea. From then on, he was afraid to sit on the boat. Suddenly it rained heavily, but the rain just poured down where Truman sat. Wherever Truman went, the rain rained down. Truman was delighted, but very clearly, this is just a minor incident in the studio. When he got home he told Meryl that he wanted to go out and see the world. But Meryl deftly blamed him. She said the money they borrowed to buy the house and the car has not yet been paid. The next day, on his way to work, Truman saw a very familiar roadside beggar. It turned out that it was his father who had died for many years. At that moment, the people around immediately dragged his father away. Then, a group of athletes rushed to prevent Truman from chasing his father. Waiting for him to catch up, his father was already driven by the car. Eventually Truman got in the way by a taxi. When he got home, he told his mother about all the things that happened today. He said he saw his father, and someone deliberately stopped him. Truman returned to his room and reminisced about the past. In the 10,910th Live episode, Truman met a girl in the library. This girl surreptitiously told Truman that everything around him was fake. Then she called out Truman. Before they finished speaking, a man claiming to be her father forced her home. At this time, the audience watching also stopped. Looks like everything is about to be exposed. Combined with the past events, Truman felt that something was wrong. The next day, on his way to work, he found that the radio frequency kept changing. Truman then kicked the radio. As a result, he turned his car to the right. Suddenly, a loud noise was emitted from everyone's earphones. Everyone stopped at the same time. Then they moved together. Along the way, Truman felt that everyone around him was paying attention to him. No matter how he looked, he could see people around him hiding his gaze. Looking closely again, he felt nothing out of the ordinary. He boldly stepped out into the middle of the road. All the driver's eyes were on him. He ran quickly into an office building. These people could not react in time. The guard quickly pulled Truman out, but still not in time. Truman saw that everything in front of him was not clear. He was forcibly dragged out. He went to his best friend, but his best friend just told him not to think too much. He looked at his wedding photo and discovered that his wife's wedding ring was not the same as the one in the photo. This made him even more sure of his thoughts. Truman sat in the car and told his wife to look in the rear-view mirror. He said now a housewife will pass by, a red bicycle will pass, and then someone holding the bouquet will pass by. Everything happened according to Truman's prediction. His wife also understood what he meant. Truman went on to say, they are just moving around these streets, that's their job. How does his wife explain? He will not listen. He locked the car door and rushed down the road. Then suddenly appeared several cars blocking his way. At this point anyone can see the problem. Truman wanted to drive to another city, but the highway was blocked. It took half a month for the highway to be cleared. Before leaving, the police bowed to Truman and even called out his name. This made him even more sure that these people were intentionally preventing him from leaving the city. Truman opened the car door and ran towards the woods. All of these are being broadcast live. There are 1.7 billion people watching how Truman was captured. Truman was found guilty of opposing public duty. Meryl took out a can of cocoa and introduced it fluently. Truman continued to not understand what was going on. He is about to fall apart. What is this after all? Meryl also felt that not everything was about to be revealed. She picked up the knife, but she was easily controlled by Truman. She shouted a name to save herself. Now Truman froze and asked who she was talking to. At the same time, his best friend entered with beer. All are advertising. Under the comfort and advice of his best friend, Truman was persuaded. His best friend told Truman that his father was not dead yet. He also helped Truman find his father. At that time, more than 1 billion global audiences were also watching live. Under the observation of the audience, he and his father met again. Everyone was relieved and assumed that all the difficulties of Truman's life were over. Truman's life returned to normal. His career and track record has been as favorable as it has been arranged. Truman also briefly paid off the 15-year loan. Many beautiful girls are also arranged to assist him in his work. The moment everyone assumed all the difficulties were over, one day while Truman was sleeping, he covered all the cameras. The director immediately sent his best friend to see the situation. As a result, Truman really disappeared. He just disappeared under the eyes of many spectators. Then people began to investigate the roads Truman might cross. They mobilized everyone in the city here for 30 years, looking for Truman. The program director ordered the setting from night to day. They defied everything in search of Truman. Viewers who are watching live also feel extremely worried. It turned out that Truman was alone on a boat to the sea to find his first love. They sent someone to stop Truman, but these people are just actors. They don't know how to sail. Christoph and his assistant tried to watch. They decided to start a tsunami at sea. They hoped Truman would find it difficult to give up. The worst-case scenario is that Truman will die. But because he was born a public person, even if he dies, he must die in public. In case of uncertainty, they adjusted the wind to the highest level. Truman may have died there, but the plan did not change. When the waves calmed down, Truman is about to die. But he suddenly woke up in front of everyone. He sailed and continued his journey. The audience was touched by his extraordinary energy. Suddenly the boat crashed into the sky. Truman was stunned again, piercing a hole in the sky with his boat. Truman hit the sky with all his might, but the sky was still unshakable. He discovered that following the sky is a small road. Follow that road to find a staircase. The moment Truman opened the door, Christoph spoke. Truman was startled. He thinks it is an angel, but not. In Truman's world, he is Angel. This show has been live for over 30 years. From the day Truman was born until today. Truman was very indignant when he heard it. He politely bowed to Christoph. He opened his arms wide and stepped into that door. His first love saw his action, then quickly ran towards him. All viewers rejoiced. Truman did it. With his own efforts, he has transmitted positive energy to everyone in the world. This movie is called The Truman Show. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.